Best in class city sim management game. I'm city game obsessive from the days of the SimCity 2000s to City Skylines and Monoworlds. I try them all and stick with the best ones. Farthest Frontier brings me the goods. It's highly engaging, challenges you with the raiders and wildfire as you develop your new city. The customization is excellent, from the screen resolution to UI scaling and optimization sliders to help the game perform best on your system. I love UI scaling because it allows you to play on the TV from a few feet away. The game runs pretty smoothly and 5x speed on the RTX 4080 Super and 1080p, but definitely gets bogged down once you reach 500 people or a large map with a few hundred citizens. I tend to play with new cities rather than enduring a tier 4, so this hasn't been a huge problem, but it was nothing. I also wish the game had a 12x speed like the Monoworlds because I prefer to speed build cities and try different scenarios to see what works best, and even at 5x progress can be a little slow at times. Raiders are my favorite part of this game. They scale up based on their size of your city, starting with 4 to 6 raiders causing trouble up to 100 plus raiders with barricade busting forces, laying waste to homes, markets and storage areas. I have played with raiders and wildfire set to maximum aggression because it keeps the game interesting between build outs. The looming threats force you to be mindful of the city size and the grid development, ensuring optimal routes and the focus to the game avoid losing villagers. In early access, the game was easier to play as a beginner because the upgrade tree was based on the base command center level, e.g. unlock specific buildings at tier 2, tier 3, etc. Shortly before the launch, they added a tech tree which is massive and not super well organized. The UI scaling also doesn't seem to apply to the tech tree, so you need to play at a lower resolution, 1080p, on a 4K display in order to see what the different options are without squinting, again from a few feet away. I have adapted to the tech tree and they have done a nice job of making it choose your adventure style gameplay by allowing you to put the knowledge points into what matters most to you, like mining over defenses. Once you have 40 points in the tech tree, it becomes considerably harder to earn knowledge, so you have to choose carefully because overinvesting in other areas can lead to a less fulfilling endgame because knowledge point development speeds up where not prioritized early enough. Improvements could be made to the way resources are populated on the map. If you choose a medium-sized map, the resources are all much closer together and they're quite spread out. If you choose a large map, it would be better, to keep the resource density of the medium maps and just increase the amount of resources on a large map. You have to travel great distances and can take forever even of cobble roads, so it makes the large map less enjoyable as a whole when resources are few and far between. Additionally, the game requires Quay to develop school, hero's house and other high achievements to keep progressing. Unfortunately, there is no guarantee that Quail will be on the map, so it forces you to add the trading post sooner in order to develop those buildings. I suspect this is due to some older decisions, when a tier 2 command center made mining for Quay and sand available. This is no longer default, and you have to unlock mining in the tech tree even if you get the tier 2 command center. This hiccup causes a pain in early development of your city, and I can appreciate that Quay may not appear on every map, but sand does, and if one does, why not the other? Especially since you don't actually need the sand to develop infrastructure in the same way that you do clay. There are some UI issues that I experience at 9020 x 1080, namely the configuration screen, e.g. do you want to delete this? It's off screen and impossible to bring back into the game window. There was also some initial confusion around how to manage policies. I can access them by using the G hotkey, but outside of that, how do I do access policies? It was very confusing until I figured out the right key to press and I don't see an on-screen element to click and that breaks up the policy screen. In conclusion, I think you have to be someone who enjoys challenges if you want to excel at this game, and I am, so I do. There's a pacifist mode that removes raiders and it look away the most enjoyable change agent in the game, so I don't use it, but it may be of interest to others. You still have to survive, so it's not exactly a sandbox free for all if you choose that mode. I also want to recommend developers an incredible feat. I have played Banished, Minor Worlds, Town to City, Foundation, City Skylines 1 and 2, all the Sim cities, 2 Point Hospital, Tropico, etc. This game is the best out of all of them, by far. Farthest Frontier lets you get into the nitty gritty and manage hundreds of citizens at scale. It's glorious and pretty well balanced. I wish there were more decoration options, but you can build a nice city base with a handful of existing options. Highly recommend